Have you ever felt any mental health stigma towards yourself?
I mean, growing up, like, I was an athlete, and so, like, obviously, like, lots of athletes struggle with mental health issues, but it wasn't something that was super visible, at least in that aspect of my life. So I struggled a little bit. I struggled with the fact that I was struggling, if that makes sense. I definitely had a lot of like competition anxiety. I was a figure skater, so that's a very like individual sport. You're out there on your own. So I struggled with that a lot. And I mean, I was always a person that performed well under pressure, but I didn't like how the pressure felt. It was really, really hard on me. And then also, like, definitely, I had some like body image issues because of figure skating. And that stemmed a lot from like my coaches because I'm not like the typical figure skater. I'm not super tiny. Like, I have a lot of like muscle mass. So I didn't like fit the image. But yeah, that was hard because I didn't feel like all the other girls, but I could perform just as well. But I always knew that still like people were judging me because I looked different. Yeah, I remember in high school like seeing like classmates or friends like having a really tough day and struggling with, anxiety about a test or about a grade or just like stress about life in general. I definitely saw like people giving looks or like not being receptive to like someone struggling, or like if someone had to leave class to go see a counselor or something, like someone would maybe like, I don't know, suggest that, you know, that's not okay, or like, why is this happening? Something like that.
Do you feel as though there's an internalized societal stigma around mental illness and seeking treatment?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like growing up, like until the last probably like 4 or 5 years of my life, I never really like heard about it just because it was something that like society doesn't talk about like that because it is somewhat of a taboo.
Where do you see like that societal stigma most in your life?
Yeah, definitely in sports. That's a big one. But then I also feel like, there's a lot of really big name athletes who are doing great things about mental health right now, but still it's obviously an issue. In school too, because I've always been in somewhat high pressure academic environments, and especially now that like I'm at college, like everyone's stressed out all the time. There's always things happening. Everyone has mental health struggles at some point, I feel like, and it's hard to like define it to one category of life rather than another. For me, no, I don't think, but others, yes. I've seen a lot more stigma towards like boys and young men needing help with their mental health rather than girls, because I don't want to say it's like expected for girls, but it's definitely more accepted.
Do you have any ideas for the reduction of mental health stigma?
I mean, super cliche, but like we need to talk about it. But I think we need to talk about it sooner. So like in my experience, I didn't like really have any major discussions about mental health until my freshman year of high school. And at that point, like a lot of people have already experienced some sort of stress or anxiety. And I think, I mean, I don't know how you talk to kindergartners about mental health or if you do, but starting, late elementary, early middle school, and like teaching kids how to like see signs of other people's mental health issues and like deal with their own and like stuff like that, I feel like is super important. At like yearly checkups, like when little kids are going to the pediatrician, like obviously they're there to check about your physical health, but like let's do a little mental health check in there too. Just building that foundation of like a relationship where you can talk to someone about something like that when you're younger.